Nancy Marks, the obscure bookkeeper at the center of the George Santos fiasco, pleaded guilty to a felony in federal court. Her attorney says she was duped by the congressman.
She meets him, and with lies and manipulations, playing on her weaknesses, she had to admit to these crimes today. What he did to her was mentally seduce.
Marks admitted conspiracy to defraud the federal government, wire fraud, identity theft, and falsifying records. Alongside Santos, she claims, to manipulate his financial benchmarks to qualify for funding from the National Republican Committee. Do you expect that she will testify against George Santos?
If we get a subpoena, we'll do the right thing.
Marks served on more than 150 Republican campaigns over her career. Her firm, Campaigns Unlimited, which is registered out of her Shirley home, collected more than $2 million from past state, local, and congressional races. When reached by phone today, Santos had no comment, but in the past threw Marks under the bus, blaming her for his federal indictment. In May, Santos pleaded not guilty to allegations of fundraising schemes, ripping off political donors, money laundering. His attorney left Thursday's proceedings without comment.
Disbursements the Santos campaign was reporting were just improbable on their face, such as $199.99 first days at hotels.
Marks is out on $100,000 bail. She faces up to 5 years in prison.
This morning, embattled New York Republican Congressman George Santos facing more charges.
Nothing. I mean, I'm just going to go defend myself.
A 23-count superseding indictment accuses him of stealing identities, making charges with donors' credit cards without their knowledge, and lying to election officials. Santos is charged with conspiracy to commit offenses against the U.S., wire fraud, making materially false statements to the Federal Election Commission, falsifying records, aggravated identity theft, and access device fraud.
Will you step down?
I will not. I have no comment. I was in conference like everyone else without my phone, so I have nothing to talk about. I need to take a look at the whole thing.
Did you commit wire fraud, though? It's a pretty basic question.
Just last week, Santos's former campaign finance chief was indicted. Prosecutors say the two made donations to Santos's campaign from family members without their knowledge, claiming the campaign had $500,000 on hand when it had only $8,000.
Look, you're all acting like I'm not entitled to due process and innocent until proven guilty.
Well, the House may have to consider a resolution to expel Congressman George Santos.
Some New York representatives introduced that resolution after the embattled Santos was hit with even more criminal charges.
He's a stain on this institution. He's a stain on the state of New York. And quite frankly, the people of the 3rd Congressional District and beyond deserve better.
In the meantime, George Santos in D.C. today was asked by reporters about the bill to expel him. He is calling it political games, and he says it is a slap in the face of Long Island voters who elected him to office.
It's silencing the people of the 3rd Congressional District of New York. That's not what the Constitution set out for.
All right, now, in order to expel Santos, that bill would need 2/3 majority of the House to vote in favor of it. But that bill is not going to be hitting the House floor for a full vote until after the House elects a new House Speaker.
Talk to us about your never Scalise comments.
Yeah, it's never Scalise. At this point, we're going to have to find someone else in leadership that comes forward that's going to be a compromise candidate. But as for me, it's never for Scalise. No, it's not because he didn't call me. It's because if you're in leadership, there's 222 members of your party, 221 now. You talk to everybody. I've reached out numerous times to Congressman Scalise, and me reaching out and asking him for guidance in his leadership and him not reaching back out, that's a dereliction of his duty as a leader. So I'm not voting for somebody who lacks fundamental leadership skills. I don't know. I don't care, quite frankly. How was the meeting there? It was a waste of time at every single meeting we've had.